Hello, viewers. I hope you all are doing well and you have been enjoying your life. And in this video, I will talk about some concepts like communism, Marxism, socialism, and capitalism. These terms we all have been familiar with for a long time, but some of we may don't know about it in detail, and this is also needed in our English literature syllabus, whether it is for MA, BA, it doesn't matter, but it needs in that specific area. So I will do my best to explain it. Okay, the video can go little bit long and you have to endure that, and you must have to have some patience in order to know it comprehensively, because if you skip the video, then you may have some confusion, and I will try to clarify each and every terms or concept related to communism, Marxism, socialism, or capitalism. Okay, now without any delay, let's begin the video. If we try to know first about Marxism, then we have to know first what is capitalism and what is socialism and what is communism. Then only our concept will be cleared. Okay, now what is communism? You might have heard this thing that China is a communist country, Cuba is a communist country, Vietnam is a communist country, like that. But you have I am guessing that you may have no idea about it in detail, how their political system, economic infrastructure, how their mechanism works, and that thing I will try to explain here. Basically, communism is the political system in which the state owns and controls all factories, farms, services, etc., and it aims to treat everyone equally. Got it? Means if our India is a communist country, then our political system will be completely government owned or public owned. Here you will not get any kind of private ownership. Okay, and the main objective of communist government or the communist state will be to treat each and every citizen of that country or of that state utterly equal. Got it? And now, what is socialism? Socialism is the political idea that is based on the belief that all people are equal. Okay, and that money and property should be equally divided. If our India is a socialist country, then our political system will be like this, that for example, no one will no one will have more than what is excessive. Like for instance, you have 3 bighas of land in your village, then but your neighbor has only 1 bigha of land, then that land will be taken by the government, and that land will be distributed equally to all the people of that country or of that particular place. That is how socialism works. Means in socialist system, there will be no inequality, and all the money, whatever the money you will earn, that will be distributed to all equally. Okay, means for example, you have an industry of textile, and you earn monthly 4 lakh money or rupees, then that money will be taken by the state, and that will be distributed or divided equally to the, or amongst the common folk of that particular place. Got it? That is how socialism works. In socialism, all will be equal. No rich, no poor will be there. All will be completely equal. That is socialism. But in socialism, you will see some kind of drawbacks also. For example, as all the wealth and all the resources will be distributed equally, then some of the people of that country of, or of that socialist state, then some people may think that, as the government is providing us everything equally, so why should I work hard? So competition will not be there. So in that way, the growth of the country will be adversely affected. Got it? Now let's try to know about capitalism. Capitalism is a well-known. It is a economic system in the world. Many people know about it, and many countries of the world have also adopted it. Basically, capitalism is the economic system in which businesses are owned and run for profit by individuals and not by the state. Means, if your country is capitalist, then the whole system will be not governed by the state or by the government. Rather, it will be taken up by the private individuals. Here, the government stakes will be very less. Got it? For example, USA and Japan, Korea, and Singapore, Hong Kong. There are many more. One who this follow capitalism. In capitalist society or in capitalist system, there will be free market and open market, and there will be what do you call it? I have forgotten the word. Yes, there will be competition, and due to competition, there will be new inventions, and through that, the country will prosper, and it will see growth very rapidly. But on the other hand, the capitalist system also has its own flaws. Like in capitalist society, you will see that the rich has become richer, or the rich people of the society are getting rich day by day. On the other hand, the poor people of the society are getting poor day by day. So this is the main drawback of capitalist society. But capitalist economy also has its humongous impacts in a particular country, like USA. USA has been prospering since its inception, means when it has taken capitalist form of government, or for form of economy. Got it? Now, but I want to add one more thing here. In capitalist society, you will get people like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, and in our Indian context, you will get people like Adani, Ambani, right? So these kinds of billionaire figure you will only get in capitalist society. You will not get these kinds of figures in communism or socialism. And through their financial power, these giants, this means billionaires, can also impact or influence the government of that particular capitalist country, and in that way they may exploit the government policies, and which may favor only the rich, not the poor. Got it? Now let's try to know about the Marxism. Now, Marxism is utterly different from these all things, but it has little bit, or we can say means some similarities with socialism and communism. And we can say Marxism is a son of communism. Marxism basically is a social, political, and economic philosophy which was named after Karl Marx, and it examines the effect of capitalism on labor, productivity, and economic development. And it also argues for a worker revolution to overturn or to overhaul capitalism in favor of communism. And to define Marxism in simple terms, it's a political and economic theory where a society has no classes. According to Marxist belief or Marxism, if it is applied, then there will be no classes. It always advocates that in a particular society you will always see a class struggle. One will be rich and other will be poor, like one will be one who has industrial owners or factory owners, whom Karl Marx has called as bourgeoisie. On the other hand, the working class, or the laborers, or the poor of the particular society. And to them, Marx has said that they are proletariat, and proletariat are always suffered by the injustice and by the exploitation of the bourgeoisie. So that's why in Marxism, Karl Marx has said that all the workers of the world must be united to fight against this bourgeoisie society, and that must be transformed, and the rule of the proletariat must be there. Okay. And he has said that every person within the society works for a common good, and class struggle is theoretically gone. In Marxism, it is believed that if every person will work for society for common good, and then consequently the class struggle will be theoretically gone. Okay. And Marxism is also a social, political, and economic theory, which was, I have already told you, originated by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. And this duo have composed a work on communism, and that work was made communist manifesto, and they were funded by the communist government, communist people, or we can say communist organization of that time. And it also focused on the struggles between capitalists and working class. And in addition, communism is based upon the ideas of common ownership and the absence of social classes, money, and state. So according to Marxism, in Marxist society, you will means you, if you buy a car, that car will not be solely yours. That car will be of public. It means you can't have any kind of private property. All things will be of public, of government, or of states. And there you will see that there is no proprietorship or there is no ownership. All people, all countries wealth, or all countries resources are for all people of that particular state. And there are some writers or the thinkers who have influenced by this Marxist belief, and they have written so many works related to Marxism. And among them are Frederick Engels, this I have already talked, Vladimir Lenin and Leon Trotsky, Joseph Stalin and Mao Zedong, and Antonio Gramsci. In he has published these kinds of things in 1916. And Angela Davis, she is a well-known Marxist feminist. She visited to Moscow, Russia in 1972, because at that time, USSR, that was not means broken. They were united, and at that time, that country was the only country at the time which was utterly following this socialist, or we can say Marxist, and the communist theory or belief system, but that were not completely they were following, but the means there were 80 to 90% in influence were there. And uh, in the work, the Communist Manifesto, which was originally the manifesto of the Communist Party, it was an 1848 pamphlet by German philosopher Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. It was commissioned by the Communist League and originally published in London just as the revolution of 1848 began to erupt. And this manifesto was later recognized as one of the world's most influential political documents, and it presents an analytical approach to the class struggle, historical and then present, and the conflicts of capitalism and the capitalist mode of production, rather than a prediction of communism's potential future forms. Okay, now we have already discussed many things related to communism, socialism, capitalism, and Marxism. Now let's try to know a little bit about what does Marxism say about capitalism. Actually, Marxism believes that the increasing competition that is peculiar to capitalism will only amount to bankruptcy among capitalists, and also the increase in monopolies while fewer people control the economy. And these bankrupt capitalists will then join the working class, thereby adding to the unemployment rate. And the victory also stated that capitalism is inherently exploitative in nature, which will certainly amount to class conflicts. And in turn, these class struggles will amount to a revolution. In addition, capitalism is unplanned in nature, which can result in huge problems with regard to capitalism is an economic system based on the private ownership of the means of production and their operation for profit. And The central characteristics of capitalism include capital accumulation, competitive markets, price system, private property, private rights recognition, voluntary exchange and wage labor, supply and demand, thereby causing severe economic depression. And it is also an attempt to make the world fairer uh, fairer and more perfect place, and they drafted a manifesto called the Communist Manifesto, and it was an attempt to explore the problems with capitalism and find a social and political theory to move beyond a capitalist society to one that benefits every member. And the main points of Marxism is as follows. In Marxism, it is said that capitalism is broken into two classes. Number one is workers, and the second is capitalists, or we can say proletariats and bourgeoisies. This I have already mentioned. And second is those that control the corporations, exploit workers and control society, and eventually workers will rise up to make everyone even and get rid of classes. In Marxism, it is believed that the the laborers or the working class of the world will be they will be united one day, and they will try to get rid of this class system, and later they will be ruled by the proletariat themselves, and there will be no class system. But in reality, I don't know whether that is applicable or not. The practice of communism or the Marxism is still going on in a different ways. But as Karl Marx has not mentioned what kind of government or what kind of mechanism will be there if a state adopts a Marxist mechanism. That's why many things are not vividly clear. So the confusion of governing the state is still debatable, and communist or communist country like Russia, we can say Cuba, they have adapt this theory in their own circumstance or in their own demand. Okay, this video is getting long, and I am ending this video here. And in our next video, our discussion will be go on. Okay, we will talk about things like why did Marx hate capitalism, and and there is like this thing, so superstructure, what is superstructure, and what is relations of production and what is means of production. These all things will be discussed in our previous video or in our next part, and I hope you have enjoyed the video. I have researched about these concepts, and I have tried to make a video on it. And if you have enjoyed the video, do inform me in the comment box. Bye bye.